Hi guys, Legendary Basil Games here. I got another theory for you. So this theory is about the Happy Mask salesman and all that, and basically Majora's Mask, because this is an extension of the theory of the last, of the theory of the Happy Mask salesman that I made last time. So this is my theory as to who he is, what he is, etc. But anyway, the Happy Mask salesman is he's actually a deity. He is the one who created Majora's Mask. So basically, he had the power to create that mask. He had magic and all of that. But he's the one who created it, and I think that that's his own worst personal mistake, his own worst personal nightmare and all that. Or actually, maybe he had his other people craft the mask and stuff, and them being possibly the interlopers, or the Garou, because the Garou are in the village. But basically, what it is he's the one who created the Happy Mask salesman persona. But basically, what he is and what he does do is he wants that mask back because he is the one who created it, and the only way he can control that mask is to have it under his supervision, because it'll spin out of control if someone gets it and all of that. But basically, he has old age. He's an old character because the King of Ikana Canyon basically states that someone opened the door to Stone Tower Temple 1,000 years ago. And actually, who the King of Ikana Canyon, Skeleton King, basically who he's referring to is the Happy Mask salesman, and the fact that he made this mask. So basically, he's saying that the Happy Mask salesman is over 1,000 years old at this point. Does that kind of blow your mind? Or, sorry, getting a little tired here. But basically, that theory should blow your mind. He is over 1,000 years old, and the reason he lived that long and the reason he grabbed it is because the Happy Mask salesman mask, Majora's Mask, being his, and he owns it. He constructed that mask, and also he is basically the king of Stone Tower Temple, and he is the one who created that Ikana Castle and stuff, which he basically created that part of the world. But Ikana Canyon king is the Skeleton King. But basically, the king of Stone Tower Temple is actually the Happy Mask salesman. But here's my theory, is that he created it. He's the one who is the mastermind behind all of this. And the reason he says that he is leaving in 3 days actually is not necessarily because he wants to leave or anything. Basically, he's saying this, that he's busy and he's hardworking, but basically he's saying this because that's him informing you about his travels and all of that, and basically saying that he's a really hard worker and he doesn't want to be around when the collision hits. But not only is he saying that because he's a busy man, but he's not saying that necessarily because he wants to leave before the whole entire world basically crashes down, that being the moon. And the moon crashing down basically means it's impossible to get out of Termina, which he's there for 3 days, which, think about it. He leaves at the specific time that you beat Majora himself. That's his creation. When you basically take Majora's Mask and give it back to him and destroy the mask, basically what you're doing is destroying the Happy Mask salesman and stopping the calamity. So basically, he wanted you to free him of that calamity and possibly destroy his life force, because that possibly is his life force and all of that. And I believe that he is the deity of that mask. So his will isn't necessarily inside it or anything, or like the Happy Mask Salesman's Majora's Mask being a mask that has a will of its own. But since it has its will of its own, basically he's the only one that can control it, and he knows that there's another evil deity inside of it because he's the one who created it. And the evil deity that comes out of that mask and manifests, basically that is the deity itself, because the deity that Majora's Mask actually is the one that was created by the Happy Mask Salesman. So basically it's the Happy Mask Salesman creating this mask and creating Stone Tower Temple and Ikana Canyon, because actually at one point I believe that was indeed his kingdom and where he came from as a whole. And he basically was the one that was the king of Stone Tower Temple before the whole war started in Ikana Canyon Valley and all of that, and before the moon was even there in the first place. And the only reason he was probably in Hyrule for a while, because sometimes people that go places, they like to travel. Travel is a thing in our world. As a whole, people travel to different places. Sometimes you'll travel to another country and all that. Basically, he was there because he was traveling the world. He's a busy man, as he says. So basically, he can't leave that world because he lives there. That's his place of residence. And basically, he's really old too, so he might not be able to make the journey out of there. But yeah, basically, if you don't do what you're supposed to do, grab the mask and all that, it will destroy you as a whole, as Link. Basically, that's your job to help him get the mask, because you're the one that's Knight of Hyrule and all that. Basically, he was the king of Stone Tower Temple and probably made a request to the king of Hyrule, Princess Zelda, all of that, to send Link over to his kingdom and stop the mask and all that. And he eventually left that canyon, left that place, left Stone Tower Temple, because that's where he had previously lived, and he was getting tired of stuff happening, and probably, after he created the mask, it spun out of control, as it always has. So basically, it was the one that destroyed everyone in that country. Basically, that was Majora's Mask and Happy Mask Salesman place of origin. Possibly was even his birthplace, if you think about it. But yeah, Majora's Mask is the one who destroyed the people in Stone Tower Temple, and if there were any residents there, they probably got destroyed because of the Happy Mask Salesman's Majora's Mask. And people over in Ikana Canyon, they got destroyed too, because there was a giant war going on there for I don't know how long did they even say in game. But basically what he's saying is that that mask destroyed everything. It took everything from him, took everything from people. And he's saying that because when the moon falls down a clock tower and all that, not only does it take him out, in the process it takes you out, takes the lives of the other people in the town, and it takes a toll on the Ikana Canyon people and all that, but it already did what it was supposed to do there. So actually was what it wasn't supposed to do, and destroyed everyone in the process of him making the mask in the first place. So yeah, Akanya Canyon is his origin place. And he was visiting in Hyrule because he's a traveler, and basically that is my theory as to what he is and etc. Basically he's the king of Stone Tower Temple. He created it. And no, here's another theory about the Happy Mask Salesman, which actually not another theory, but that's part of this extended theory, is that the basically the world of Termina is not another world that is created by Majora's Mask like people like to say it is. Basically what it is a separate country entirely from Hyrule, but people don't know where it is in canon on the map because what's his face? Shigeru Modi. Well, I cannot speak. Basically, Shigeru Miyamoto basically did not explain that part, so he didn't give out that sort of information and all of that stuff. But basically, that's the place of Happy Mask Salesman origin. And he has the pointed ears because he is not a Hylian or anything, but he has magical powers. So he is a guy with just random pointy ears and all of that stuff. But he could also be a Sheikah, but this was my other theory about the Sheikah clan, which also ties into him as well, because this is the theory about the Happy Mask Salesman and all that. Basically what he is a Garo member himself. Basically, he is the leader of the Garo people. And basically the Garo king or whatever, the one that destroys himself when you fight him with Link, basically he is the king of all of those people. So basically he is a Sheikah member. He's like another branch of the Sheikah clan, because we know that the Sheikah clan, as a matter of fact, we know that they took off from Hyrule as a whole. They basically were either executed, like Ganon and his people. So basically what they did, the Happy Mask Salesman, being a Garo, being the other part of the Sheikah clan, in my theory in another video, basically what he is a Garo master. He is a Garo, like another section of the Sheikah clan members. And here's another part of the theory, which if you go really, really, really far down to the rabbit hole, basically the Sheikah clan, Garo people, they're all related in some shape or form. And those three parts of those families, basically the Hylian royal family, Sheikah clan, Garo clan, they're all related by blood even, possibly. And one of those things being is that the Sheikah clan and the Garo clan are all basically relatives. They're another section of the Hylian royal family and all of that. Basically, what they are is that they're three separate family trees, but they're all related to each other by either descendancy, which basically the descendants, and then you would have the progenitors and all of that, basically progenitor being ancestor, being much older and all of that. Basically what they are is another part of the family of the royal family. So yeah, basically they're another part of those people, and they're all family members. So basically when they were fighting each other, basically they were taking out parts of their own family out of family discord, which is basically where they would be fighting and arguing all the time, constantly. Basically, what they would be is another branch of the family, an extended branch. And some people would say, no, that's completely wrong. But guess what? This is my theory. So basically, if anyone likes that theory, or anyone wants to, like, make another theory, you can do that. You can make another theory and say I'm totally wrong, but I think actually the Sheikah clan is the one that left the royal family, which we know they did, because they were all fighting and stuff, and the Hylian Civil War was all going on and stuff like that. So basically, he is the Garo member leader. Basically, what he is another section of the Sheikah clan member, which in turn relates to the Hyrule royal family and all of that, and he is the king of another castle. There's a Mario reference for you right there, but yeah, he's a Garo master. So, if you like this theory, give it a thumbs up, give it a follow, subscribe, and turn on the notifications, because I make new videos all the time. But yeah, I'll see you in the next video.